Hello and welcome to Hunter Fuel, a supernatural rewatch podcast for adults who enjoy their show with a chaser. I'm Liz.
And I'm Lynn.
Thank you so much for joining us for season 3, episode 6, Red Sky at Morning. We model responsible drunkenness here. All participants are away over 21. No one is driving. No one will be handling weapons, operating heavy machinery, or murdering our relatives, even if they're rich. If you're playing along with us, those are the rules. If you decide not to follow them, you do something stupid, don't blame us. Lynn, what are you drinking this evening?
Well, I kind of went on theme, and I do
Okay,
mean
say more about that.
slightly. Well, because of course it's Red Dawn.
It is.
I went cranberry vodka. It's red.
It is indeed red. It is indeed red. So, had it
Hey,
been
for
blue
me,
sky,
that's about as close. For me, that's about as. I hate to say as close as you're going to get, but it's as close
well,
as you're going to get. Let's be honest.
had it been blue sky at morning, you would have been prepared for that too. So,
Yes, that is very, very true.
okay.
Or so yeah. So for as far as your cocktail,
Yes. What is your guess for the theme of this week's featured cocktail?
I would hope it would have something to do with a vessel or a boat or something like that. I saw like a or like a boat.
All right. You will be satisfied with Red Sky at Night.
That was
S-
my other guess. I thought that was too obvious.
I got 327 of these bastards to come up with, so sometimes obvious is what we get. I did, however, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. It does not appear to be. But the glass is etched with a schooner on it. There it is. Now you can see
Oh,
it.
that's cool. Yes.
Yeah, so the the drink is on theme and so is the vessel.
That's awesome. Okay, so you knocked it out of the park this week.
It was a
Now,
small
whether you
part.
like the drink or not, that's a whole different ball
Yeah,
game.
we're gonna
But
find out in a minute. So a red sky at night is 2 ounces of white rum, 1 ounce of Cointreau, 1 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of red cranberry juice, 1/2 ounce of grenadine. Shake all that with ice, strain, and serve over fresh ice. Producer Mark, would you bring up our Stupornatural game cards for us, please?
I'm not feeling it.
Uh, yeah,
No.
uh, no, me neither. I think, I might get a couple, but
Yeah. No. I think and there's some good potential tonight and I got a couple, but yeah, no.
yeah. Well, if you're gonna play along with us, there is a link to generate a card of your own in the link tree, and hopefully you will have better luck than it looks like Lynn and I will.
Yeah.
So with that, oh, you know what we didn't do? As
What?
always, the first one is on the house. So go ahead and give yourself that center square and
Cheers.
cheers.
Oh, that's so good.
As I clobber the microphone with my glass.
Yeah,
That's pretty tasty.
ooh, I was gonna
That's
say. I guess it's a good thing that my car doesn't look too good since I am drinking pretty much straight vodka.
you're not driving.
No, no, that is very true, but still,
Well,
work, work does happen in
no.
the morning.
So, okay, with that, let's get this show on the road. So the then segment is fairly unsurprisingly, if you know where this episode is going, it's fairly Bella heavy. So we see, which is funny because she's barely been in the season, but we have the backstory with Bad Day at Black Rock when she shoots Sam over an unlucky rabbit's foot. And we also have the fight between Sam and Dean over, Dean's looming contract termination
Yeah.
date and Sam's determination to save him. We get when Jared shot his girlfriend last episode. With Sam summoning the Crossroads Demon, and when she doesn't give him what he wants, he just shoots her in cold blood with a stone face and
Oh,
absolutely no attempt to save the vessel.
vessel.
Uh, Now we've got a lady jogging at night. And now,
Yes.
Lynn, this might or might not look familiar to you because this is Vancouver Harbor. So we were here
Oh,
when we were
oh.
traveling between seasons. We were here, and I think this is kind of fun, like how much water there is, like in these opening scenes. So we've got this close up of her
Mhm.
drinking from a drinking fountain, and she looks out, and in the distance behind this island is in flashes of lightning a ship that um it's got, kind of your old-timey triple masts and whatnot, but then it's like, was it there? Was it not there? Did I really see what I thought I saw? She runs away. Cut to her in the shower. So again, we start with the close up on the shower head. She's got this, supermodel hair flip
Yeah.
up into frame. And there's like all of this focus on the water as she's showering. And she even like tips her head back and like gargles the water a little bit. Somebody behind her that we can see through this like frosted shower. And this is kind of a good effect here where they like put
Oh.
their hand on the glass and you start to see kind of water dripping down from their fingers.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
so w- she thinks she hears something. Um,
yeah.
the ground bathroom is empty. So were it not for that water running, we would think that this was just someone or something in her bed. Like this could be a stalker or a serial
Yeah.
killer. Out of nowhere grabs her, he's slamming her up against the glass in the shower, and then you see her just, like, slide down, with her hand against the glass, and that is it. That is the cold open. So, as of right now, I see that you've paused on the title card, so check in just a second.
Yeah.
But as of right now, all we really know is that this woman was attacked in her shower, and she could have just been strangled. Like we don't know what killed her at this
Nope.
point.
Nope.
All right, Lynn, go ahead.
So, as we all know, I love reading what they love to call the quote unquote goofs.
Yeah, some
And
of them are real goofs and some of them are not. But what have you come
yeah,
across?
so one of the things they consider to be a goof
Mhm,
is that the water droplets from the shower when her hand goes down and her face is up against the glass,
mhm.
none of she's not rubbing any of them away, and that they are all perceived to be on the outside of the glass
It's on the outside of the glass,
and not on
which
the inside.
would go ahead, I'm sorry.
Now, which so that is that is they consider that kind of an oops or like a misconception
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, that the water's in the wrong spot.
I did notice that, and what I decided just to have it make sense to me was that it's, sometimes when you take a hot shower, there's condensation on the outside. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you get the warm blast from the steam. If the room is cooler, it'll condense on the outside. So that, um, but yeah, I did notice that I'm like, well, that doesn't quite look right, but it
Also,
could.
if you were gonna have that much condensation on the outside, wouldn't the mirror have had some condensation on it?
Fair
And the
point.
mirror in the bathroom is bone dry.
Fair point.
Like I
So
literally just thought about that when you
yeah,
were saying it.
yeah, I can't argue with you. So, all right. Well,
So
props
yeah, so
department, hands. We're gonna smack your knuckles for that one.
it's like,
Naughty
come on.
props department.
And this is when you know just how good of a show it is when those tiny little things, it's like get
Yeah.
noticed because it's like because they're so good. It's so good.
Yeah. The show in general is really good. I will be transparent that this is not a good episode in my opinion. Like I don't love this one.
So
Um
you and I are going to be in much debate because I like there's one or
well,
two things,
you
but
are
I
in
like this one.
well, I'm happy to hear that, and I will tell you that you are in very, very small company. Now,
Oh.
oh well, you like what you like, but
Mhm.
there's a small spoiler alert here, but in a later season, someone will actually apologize for this episode. Like the two episodes that get apologized for are Bugs and this one. Oh, Ghost Truck, the monster truck from Route 666. Those are sort of universally agreed to be kind of the weakest episodes of these early seasons. But you
Just
like what you like, and there's
I
nothing
was
wrong with that.
gonna say I like this one. I mean, there's
Well,
a couple of things that are kind of there's one particular thing we will get to later that bothers me, but other than that, I
see, and
like
in
it.
my case, there's one particular thing I think they get right in this episode. But all right, so
Okay.
well, shoot us a comment on the video and let us know what you think. Are you
Yeah.
are you in Lynn's camp or are you with me? What did you think of this one? All right, so we're gonna hit play here. And we start right off with the Impala driving down a dark road. Um, and we hop right down into a fight between Sam and Dean, where Dean is saying, "I've been waiting since Maple Springs. Is there something you want to tell me?" Sam's playing dumb, and then finally Dean says, "There's a bullet missing from the Colt. I know it wasn't me, unless you were shooting some incredibly evil cans. You went after the Crossroad Demon, didn't you?" Um, so and I do think it's interesting here that when Dean confronts Sam, his answer was she was a smartass.
Yeah, that bothers me.
It's and again, it's they're really beating this drum loud and long that something is off with
Yeah.
Sam, that this is not the Sam we have come to know and love over the last 2 seasons. Um, so, Dean's really kind of reading him the riot act, you should not have done this, and Sam is like, I am going to do whatever it takes to try to save you. If you're not on board with that, that's your problem, not mine.
So I think it's interesting though, because if you really look at that, you can look at that scene here. I'm gonna pause this just for a second because I don't want to get
Okay.
too far into this next scene. Um, you can kind of look at that scene from two different perspectives.
Okay.
As in, like, he's getting tired of Dean being like, listen, like, it's like, listen, I am going to do that. I'm going to try and save your life, whether you like
Them.
it or not. Get the hell over it. And that's where the tone is 1,000% coming from. Or the other one, which they are, well, they're sort of pounding both into our head, let's be honest. Of the is who he brought back truly Sam, which is kind
Mhm.
of they're kind of playing both sides in this exact scene at the exact same time to me.
I would agree with that because again, this is supposed to be a big question mark that is what we're seeing evidence that Sam came back wrong,
Yeah.
or is there absolutely nothing wrong with Sam at all, and this is just a perfectly normal reaction to how Dean is behaving because Dean's on pardon me, Dean is on a short clock.
Yeah.
And so that is absolutely a question as an audience they want us to be wrestling with.
Yeah. So I so yeah, so I think it's in I think I know I'm reiterating myself, but I just to me you can play that. I think that scene is interesting and in the fact that
Mhm,
you can read that to complete that entire dialogue in two completely different ways.
mhm. Yep, and I think it's intentional.
Oh yeah,
Well, while you have it stopped, we did have a dude in that last scene. So let's take a look at our cards and see if either one of us has a dude, and I do not.
I do.
Oh,
I
good for
do.
you.
I do have a dude.
Yay. Yay. I am happy to hear that. Well, congratulations on your dude.
Saying you are not letting me drink alone. That is not one of
Uh-uh.
the option.
I think I'm going to have painfully few opportunities to enjoy my cocktail, so I'm going to take advantage of them when I have them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay,
So
hitting play. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, go
So
ahead.
now this. So I did look into. So the woman that is we have it paused on right now,
Yes,
Miss Case.
yes, Miss Chase. Yes,
Miss Chase, sorry. I'm
Ms. Chase.
Miss Chase. Sorry. I'm reading the subtitles.
Ms. Ms. She's
Ms. Chase.
not Mrs. Ms.
Ms. Yes. Um, it's fun because I was looking at because her face looks so
Oh yeah.
familiar to me.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm
She's been
look
in a ton.
yeah, and what I mean, I've definitely seen like some of
Oh,
the stuff
you absolutely
like
have.
like I use like we both used to be, but I mean we're talking 30 years ago, ER fans.
Hmm.
I mean, now and I'm really aging myself here. Like 45 years ago, I was a huge Dallas fan, but I seriously doubt from when I was 6. That's what I'm remembering her from. So,
You know what? Here's the thing. She's one of those journeyman actors who's
yeah,
in, I mean, she's been in hundreds of shows going back to the 60s but onesie twosies. So she did
yeah,
have runs on the 80s TV show Beauty and the Beast. And she was also back in the 70s in the Jimmy Stewart show. And then she was in several movies in the 90s, such as Clear and Present Danger and
yeah. But
Phenomenon. Her name is Ellen Geer, Geer. Um,
and I
so it,
definitely saw Clear and Present Danger. I think I've seen that.
yeah, so
I think
this is
I've seen that a couple times.
Again, she's one of those character actors that has just been in a ton of shit, but as a day player,
Yeah,
she's in an episode or two
yeah.
in each of the shows. But so yes, Ms. Chase uh takes a takes quite a liking to Sam, so she's given him a once over. So, the next time we pause, we will check for a Sam gets hit on. Um, oh, I apologize. You were right, Lynn. It's Case. It's not
Yeah.
Chase, it's Case. My fault.
Yeah.
So Sheila, the jogger, here's where we find out she drowned in the shower.
Yeah.
Um, and um, Ms. Case is um a little startled, and she's been working with someone named Alex, and she presumes that Sam and Dean, in their Fed suit guises, are working with Alex. And Alex had told her the case was solved, and they're like, "Well, not so much." And this is where the boys get the piece of information that Sheila saw a boat that kind of appeared and was gone. So, now when she called Aunt Gert, between jogging and showering, we don't know, but, um, excuse me, but Alex thinks that it could be a ghost ship.
Yes.
And it's kind of entertaining that the boys sort of look at each other like, what kind of nonsense is a ghost ship? Oh, and the way that
Oh
she
God,
stroked
that,
Sam's finger is
oh,
just a little suggestive.
ew, 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 yuck, yuck, ew, gross, just ew. Ew, it,
Oh, don't
it's,
get me wrong here. There's quite an age gap there. Something tells me Ms. Gert would rock his world. I
yeah.
I think Gert Case is a goer.
It reminds me of, and of course I am blanking on but oh, Mrs. Robinson
Mrs.
from
Robinson.
it's a
While you're thinking, I just want to say this quickly. So again,
yes.
these are more shots of Vancouver Harbor, with these houseboats that are lined up here. So we did see those when we were in Vancouver. Um, I'm sorry, Lynn, you were saying.
Yeah, uh it's like a 1960s or 70s movie with
Oh, The Graduate with
the
Dustin
graduate.
Hoffman. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I could
Yep.
see his face in my head and I couldn't come up with the name because you know how
Yeah.
wonderful I am at that.
Yeah.
And
Although
it's
I think Ms. Case is slightly older. But
oh yeah.
let's sorry, I know I'm cutting you off, but
No,
I don't want to lose sight of this. So the
no.
car is missing.
It's good.
The boys have been talking about how they're going to track down this boat, and Dean starts to just hyperventilate that he can't find his car. And here comes Bella. She's like, "I'm sorry, 1967 Impala. I had that car towed. It was in a tow-away zone." And she's like, "It was when I was finished with it." So
Oh,
she's had the boy's car towed just to be spiteful.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, well, they got her payments stopped, so she decided to be a bitch.
yes, yeah, she's out for some revenge, and so what she's explaining to Sam and Dean is that she essentially is running a con where,
Yes.
she makes friends with wealthy elderly women and, lets them, talk to their dead cats and hold seances and things and sells them charms. And in exchange, they pay her a lot of money. Um, and Sam and Dean are like, "How do you sleep at night?" She says, "Naked, rolling in money on silk sheets." So, once again, we're seeing her as someone who is kind of out for herself, and she
Mhm.
will do whatever she perceives to be in her own best interest at any given time.
Absolutely.
And she says to them, "You better go get your car before they find that arsenal in the trunk." And she walks off. Dean says, "Can I shoot her?" And
Shooter?
Sam's like, "Not in
Not in
public."
public. I love that. Because he
But
doesn't actually say no.
He
It's
does not
just
say no. No, I don't think that Sam would, in his current state, be terribly upset about shooting her. Now we've got a gentleman, and he's brushing his teeth to get ready for bed. And again, we have that kind of shadowy figure walk past the screen. More water as
mm,
he's brushing his teeth. And this scene reminds me a bit of Dead in the Water back in season one, where we've got the
yep.
bathtub filling with dark water.
Oh, yeah, and it was
Um,
the sink, wasn't it, in Dead in the Water, wasn't it the sink?
both. Both. We
Okay,
got a sink and a tub. Now this one was not directed by Kim Manners, so we don't have those really cool shots. This is kind of a fun one of him
yeah.
reflected in the dark water, and then this hand just shoots out and
Oh,
grabs him. And again,
oh,
it's choking him, but you see his eyes kind of roll back. I'm gonna pause on this dark
yeah,
screen here.
yeah.
Um, all right, so we
So
have
somebody gets choked,
we do have a choke, and
and
we also have Sam gets hit on.
I have a Sam gets hit on,
Oh, good for you.
which is a damn good thing because he doesn't get hit on very often.
No,
So
no.
it's
Oh,
like,
well,
I better the
wait a
hell.
second. Wait a second. It's one of the boys gets choked, not
Uh,
someone.
well,
So I get.
I didn't have it anyways, so I was going off of memory.
Well, I gave myself the square, and I was like,
Uh,
"Oh, nuts! I can't have it." Um,
Sorry.
we do have someone other than Dean drives baby, but we don't see it on camera, so I don't think we can, and we don't know
No.
that she drove it. Um,
No. No,
all
and
right.
in the past, even if we've seen Sam in the car and knew he had to drive it, the fact that we never saw him drive it, we've never counted it.
I agree. I agree. So that gives me a big fat bub kiss. How about you?
I had Sam gets hit on.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, again, I'm gonna drown my sorrows. Ha ha ha.
I should not find that funny, but I do.
Mm,
So, cheers.
cheers. Okay. Hitting play. Uh, we have a gentleman who is the deceased brother, and he's being interviewed. We've got a fake
Fake
ID.
ID.
He's being interviewed by Alex, aka Bella. We know Bella's not a real name either. Um, and Sam and Dean show up with their fake IDs, and
Oh,
they
she is not happy.
she's not. They chase her off.
Yeah.
So they start interviewing the brother, the dead dude's brother, and once again he says he saw a ship, the person who died. It was one of those old Yankee clipper smuggling vessels. He knows quite a bit about sailing. He
Mhm.
identifies a lot of the types of rigging and stuff.
Mm.
And at the end of this conversation, he'll say,
Oh,
"I saw it
I
too."
too.
So
And
both brothers saw this ship. They
and
look over and they see Bella telling the police that I don't think these two guys are real FBI. Lynn, I'm going to pause this here. So it seems like you want to say something.
I just love how, like, he goes, "Yeah, I saw it too," and both brothers look at each other like,
Like,
"Oh,
ah,
shit."
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, no." And also, I'm sure you noticed it because you're so observant, and I don't mean that sarcastically, that Bella all of a sudden has an American accent when she was doing.
Well, yeah, she goes back and forth, like depending on the character she's playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Now they
but yes.
they notated in one of the continuity things, they notated that all of a sudden Bella, when she
Yes.
was interviewing, had an American accent. I was
Uh,
like,
hello, people. That's not an oops. That's on purpose. She's a con artist. She plays multiple characters. Like, you know, it's like any episode of any television show where there's a person, I'm thinking of like Yvonne Strahovski in Chuck, where
Mm.
she would whip out her Australian accent,
Yes.
on occasion, depending on the character. Like it happens pretty frequently. Um, Okay. So we've got one of these kind of iconic supernatural shots of the boys from the trunk of the Impala as they're
Yeah.
loading their shotguns with salt rounds. And
Yeah.
here comes Bella hitting play. And suddenly she's all kinds of friendly. Um, and it, she's saying, she's asking them, "Have you ID'd the boat? Why are you still here?" And she thinks it's kind of foolish and juvenile of them to attempt to save the currently surviving brother. Which is he can't be saved in time, and you know it. Um, Dean says, we have souls, so we're gonna try. So it is kind of interesting that he's made a deal for his soul. He still has it at the moment,
Yeah. Mhm.
but it belongs to someone else.
Yes.
Um, and this is kind of great conversation here where Dean is like, he says, Bella, how'd you get like this? What, did daddy not give you enough hugs or something? And her response is, "I don't know. Your daddy give you enough?" So, you start to get a sense that that there's some backstory here for Bella. We're going to hear a little
Mhm.
bit more about that later.
Yes.
But that she and Dean are kind of two sides of the same coin. Aside from the fact that she's just written atrociously, which is not Lauren Cohan's fault, um, it's sort of um, the part of the reason they don't like each other, again, aside from the fact that Bella just has no moral compass whatsoever, it is that they're kind of a decent amount alike from a certain perspective.
Yeah, but it shows that you can have sort of that same background, but then when push comes to shove and you have to make choices, where those choices can
Yeah,
take
absolutely.
you.
Yep, bad
And
shit
they
happens, it's your choice how you respond to that bad shit.
Yeah, and so it's like they took two very different forks,
Yep, yep,
and how those two different forks in the road, pardon the pun, molded them.
yeah, indeed, indeed. Okay, so they have gotten so Sam and Dean were casing the surviving brother's house. He spots them. And we've got an electronics flicker here. We
Yeah.
did have a we've got work to do earlier, and
Mhm.
sadly enough, we don't have that on our bingo cards anymore. Here comes dead, wet, dripping dude, and there's a blink and you miss it shot of him. He's missing a hand, so you can see kind of the stump of his arm. Surviving brother starts to just spew water everywhere. Um, Peter's his name.
Yeah.
Um, Dean shouts at Sam to take cover. He shoots this
Mhm.
spirit that's drowning people on dry land. Spirit dissipates with the rock salt round. And I love this where the guy's back and you just see the trickle of water coming out of his mouth. I think the special and visual effects in this episode are
Are
really
amazing.
great. Okay, I have paused it on the black screen. So we are
Yes.
looking for a fake ID and an electronics flicker. I
I
do
have
have fake IDs.
That makes two of us.
Ah, finally, one on the board. And let me just
Eh.
see if I have an electronics flicker here. Something tells me I do. I
Ooh,
do.
go
I actually
you.
I actually have both. I am finally on the board.
and I do not have an electronics flicker.
Alright, but you've got fake IDs.
Yes,
Alright. So we drinking.
we drinking.
Mhm.
Cheers.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're like, screw the toast part. I just want the alcohol.
I'm just gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink it. There was one thing I didn't mention just because it was happening kind of quickly, but the as the so Peter, surviving brother, he looks in his rearview mirror. He sees this spirit with like the wet, scraggly hair, and And when he turns around to look, now the spirit is gone, but the back seat is all wet. So wherever this guy goes, there's, big puddles of water everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
So
okay.
I find it interesting, and I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this, that they comment that even if he was legitimately drowning, had Sam started CPR, there should have been a shot of them saving the victim. And I'm like,
It wasn't in the
yeah,
script.
yeah, bingo, bingo.
In the script.
Like it's like I get, but yeah, that's not where we're going with this. So yeah,
No, no. Was the board big enough for both Rose and Jack? Yes. But
yes,
the script says Jack dies.
dies.
Maybe the board should have been smaller, but Jack was going to the bottom.
Yeah,
So my counter argument to that would be if this is a supernatural drowning,
yes,
you can do CPR as long as you want. That ghost got nothing but time. And at a certain point, there's more water in his lungs than air, and
yeah,
he's at some point ghost gonna win
yeah.
over the CPR.
Well, as I said, on that one, a lot of them I agree with. That one I
Yeah,
do not, but I figure I point 90%,
yeah,
99% of them out. So I gotta be fair to the ones that I also don't
I
necessarily
agree. I
I don't.
completely agree, and I'll give you the condensation on the wrong side of the glass. Speaking of Titanic hands in the condensation. uh I call bullshit on a continuity error with Lauren Cohan's accent. And this one, I see the point, but I think again, it was in the script. Peter was never gonna make it.
Yeah. Now the other one, and I'll admit I've looked for it, and I'm going back here a bit, but just because we were talking about the scene and I
Mhm.
totally forgot about it. The other thing they brought up, and I don't see it,
Mm,
is supposedly now in the shower, she
mhm.
clearly is bare shouldered.
Yes,
Clearly.
she's showering. She's
Yeah.
like most of us in the shower. She's
Yeah.
naked.
She's they claim that when she does the hand thing, that you can see the strap that so like because obviously they're not actually naked.
She's not actually. Folks,
And
it's a
again, I
show.
looked, I could not physically see it, but just
I
as I
can't
said,
if you are an eagle-eyed viewer and you have spotted it, I can't say, I mean, it may or may not be there. It was honestly not my focus during that
no.
scene. Um, because it is, I mean, you think about it, just like she's in an incredibly vulnerable position, right? She's alone, she's naked in the shower, like there's, not a lot in the way of weapons handy, and somebody just grabs her from behind. I mean, that is nightmare
Yeah.
fuel
Oh yeah.
before,
Ah,
whether you believe in ghosts or not. That is terrifying. So I'm not particularly paying attention to whether or not we can see her bathing suit. So,
So, yeah.
um, because it's a show, she's an actor. And you know what? Okay, brace yourselves, folks. That woman's alive. She's an actor. He didn't actually strangle or drown her in that scene. I'll give you a second to recover. I got a truth bomb for you.
I'll admit I wasn't 100% certain. I was where you were going with that, but they
So all right.
yeah.
Speaking of which, back to our show. We are hitting play.
Oh.
Boys are back in the car. Due to
Oh,
the weather report is that there's some unexpected bad weather coming through. Look for thunderstorms and heavy rainfall. Um, and
Sam
Dean
looks like
says, "You
someone
can't
just
save
killed his
everybody,
puppy.
Sam." I'm sorry, what?
And Sam looks like someone just killed his puppy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Sam is really taking the fact that he couldn't save this guy very hard, and Dean says, "You can't save everybody." And Sam's response is, "Just lately, I feel like I can't save anybody."
Oh.
Um, which is kind of an interesting
Oh.
position for him to be taking, considering he shot that demon in cold blood in the face. Um, like he could have tried to save the vessel with an exorcism, but he didn't. So you can see that there's something really conflicting going on with Sam. Sadly, we don't have a quirky motel room because they're squatting.
No.
I love how careful they're being opening this door. Like Sam's got his gun out, Dean's like to the side, and he's kind of squeaking open this little like peephole thing that they have. And it's Bella.
Bella.
Yay.
Look, this look on Sam's face, like, oh, fuck. Or not again. I haven't
Bella.
decided which way it goes.
And she's come, and the sense of it is that she's come just to kind of twist the knife that they couldn't
Yeah.
save Peter. And
Oh,
and Dean is like, "I will punch you in the face if you don't just stop." Um, they, she's here. She says she comes bearing gifts. She's got the ID for the ship. So it's just a matter of time. Like, okay, Bella's
yeah.
not going to give up this information out of the goodness of her heart,
Nope.
assuming she has one, which is Dean's quip. Um, there's something she wants.
Yeah.
But it's a little, she's not telling them what it is. It's just something you have to kind of assume that there's no other reason she'd be here unless there's something she wants. So, she knows that this vengeful spirit, and here it is missing a hand, that they made a hand of glory, which if you're a fan of the Harry Potter films, you know what a hand of glory is. Um, and it, she's proposing that they work together because the hand itself is on display in the Sea Pines Maritime Museum. And so she's suggesting they work together to get this hand, and with any luck, this will kind of stop the killings. There's
Oh.
one way in, there's a gala. So next scene is Bella in her evening cocktail gown. And there's this great, like Jake Gruska gave us this beautiful little piece of
Oh.
music reminiscent of James
James
Bond,
Bond.
as Dean comes down the stairs in his tux. And you see
Oh.
Bella likes what she sees. Dean
Oh.
feels like he looks ridiculous, and she's like, "Not exactly the word I'd use."
I love that.
Her
When
proposal
this
is
is
that they have really angry
only
sex,
sex.
and I love Dean's response. He's like, "Don't objectify me.
Me.
And but then as he walks away, he's like, he doesn't mind being objectified.
I was gonna say he will so yeah, he will so go he will jump on that bandwagon in a heartbeat.
Uh, I don't know if he'd jump on Bella's bandwagon. Like, he really hates her. She shot Sam. She sells seashells by the seashore. I don't know that he would jump on that bandwagon, unless it was his last night on Earth, in which case I don't think he'd care. But so they show up at the gala. Now, this
Oh,
building is the exact same location where they shot the hotel in Playthings. So if you look carefully, some of it might look a little familiar.
I
Sh
cannot
she
believe he
notices
put
Dean is chewing gum, and Dean takes it and, like, sticks it to the underside of the champagne
I
fountain.
love
And
it.
she's like, "Jesus Christ. You can dress him up, you can't take him
Maybe
anywhere."
not. I
Um,
love it. I love it.
and here
Sam
comes
looks
Sam.
Sam looks so uncomfortable.
Sam is so miserable, and, so he has taken Gert to the gala so that she would wrangle them invitations, because this is the only way all 4 of them could get into the museum to have a chance at this Hand of Glory.
Yeah.
And Sam is like, "Okay, you do know that there's a limit to what I'm gonna do here. Like, I am not taking one for the team with Gert." Okay. Um, but, as much as Sam is like, "We could get in here without this," and Dean's like, "Yeah, but this is funnier." Yes.
Yeah, Dean is having much more fun with this. Sam is just, I mean, this is
Indeed.
just, yeah, just no,
Mm.
no. I
But,
love
yeah,
the look on Sam.
he's like, Jesus God, how long? And here comes Ms. Case with 2 glasses of champagne. And Sam just guzzles it like, "Oh, yeah, I need all the booze to get through this evening." And Gert is like, "Oh, I might have a win here."
Yeah, now we just need Dean to drink the damn champagne.
Oh, not Sam. I don't care if Sam drinks. I want Dean to drink.
Yes,
Uh, okay, so they're casing the place. The security is pretty tight.
yes.
And this is something I will admit I don't like how Dean is characterized here. I think
No,
he's a little out of his element. I will give you that. He's not a tuxedo champagne kind of guy, but he's not like they play him off like he is really stupid. And Dean is
no.
an expert tactician.
Yeah, I
So
would say quick on his feet.
very quick on his feet.
He is 1,000%.
He's a con man. Oh, finally, Dean eats.
Yeah.
So Bella's solution is to pretend to faint so that Dean can, find a place where she can lie down for a minute. Security guard even holds her purse while Dean carries her upstairs, plops her down on a couch. And yeah, I think they do Dean a little dirty in this
Yeah.
episode. That understanding that Bella has made her living as a con artist as well. Dean's not a dumbass.
I was gonna
You
say
know
that end, Sam and Dean have made their lives basically as con men. I mean,
exactly
that's how they, because they don't get paid,
right.
that's how they survive.
That's how it right. And could they could be con artists and live, high on the hog like Bella does, and they
Mhm.
don't. They live it's like they steal just enough to keep themselves afloat without
Yes.
really bilking anybody. So once
I mean,
again,
hell,
go ahead.
look at some of those hotel rooms that they stay in.
Oh,
Oy,
yeah. Yeah, they're staying in, like, the cheapest motor lodges they can find, or they're squatting. Um,
And Sam just
so
got his ass pinched.
yeah, so, his case is, extremely, satisfied
Handsy.
with the amount of exercise that Sam does. She says, "You remind me of my ex-husband. He was shy too, till we got below deck." I'm telling you, Boo's go. Like, he's not no, consent is key. If
Yes, yeah.
he's not interested, she needs to read the room.
Ew, ew, ew,
But
ew. That hand is disgusting.
the hand is pretty gross. Not Gert's hand on his tush, it's the
No.
hand of glory that is on display. I think we can call this, picking a lock
Well,
here.
yes. Yeah, because we did just see him open it, and obviously you gotta pick something to obviously he had to do something. So yeah,
He
and
get
then
right.
clearly he's picking the safe lock. Yes, I
Right.
100% agree.
Alright. Back to Bella. She is, passed out in the room. She picks up a ship in a bottle and is admiring it when the security guard comes back to check on her. And she comes to the door. Her lipstick is smudged, her dress is off the shoulder, her hair is a little mussed. And she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling much better. Thank you." And she's like, "Could could I just have a few more minutes with this room, please?" And so security guard is like, "Okay, sure, why not?" So you hear Bella kind of giggling as if she's not
Yeah.
alone. Security guard walks away. Here comes Dean, and he says, "Thanks for taking care of my wife for me." And and
Oh,
the
she's being looked after all right.
and
With
not by
this
you.
but yeah, this huge grin.
Uh yeah, so security guard presumes there's somebody else in there with Mrs. Dean. Um, so Dean has the hand, which he hasn't like wrapped in a handkerchief or anything. He's just holding it with his bare hand. Now he's gonna put it in a handkerchief. And she's like, "Oh, I could hang on to it. It'll be less conspicuous in my handbag." He's like, "No, sweetheart, I don't need your kind of help."
Yeah.
Back to so Gert's champagne glass is empty. She they've been dancing forever. Sam's like, "This is one long song." Uh,
And she's
she's
not looking 1,000% sober at this point with the way she's holding that
no,
glass.
no, she is not. She's rubbing her makeup all over Sam's white shirt. But she knows all the dirt in town, and she tells him these two brothers had it coming. That the rumor was they had murdered their father for his money, which of course she'll whisper to Sam. Sam is not loving this. Um, and now I will say this is one of those things where, like, okay, it's all funny because it's Sam and they're playing it funny, but if these gender roles were reversed, if this was a woman with an older man, it would not be as funny. So again, like it's being played comedically, but I do think there's some there's some assumptions here that
Yeah.
it's a gag that sort of doesn't play as well once you really start thinking about the implications. Um, but
He wants me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gert is
yeah.
convinced that Sam is interested. And so Bella hustles her out, and says, "I'll see you at the cemetery." Dean thinks he's got this is not a great joke. He looks at Sam
No,
and he says, "You stink like sex." I'm like, that makes no sense
that
at all.
no.
Um, they get into the car. Dean thinks he's got the hand, and you
Yeah.
can see Sam like stripping out of his tie. He's like, "I want a shower right now, very badly." Dean pulls the handkerchief out of his pocket, and here's the ship in a bottle that
Bottle.
Bella was admiring earlier. So she's picked Dean's pocket, and I will say this, like, she's fast. To
Yeah.
be able to get the handkerchief, unwrap it, put the bottle in, take the hand, put the hand in her purse, and get the bottle back into Dean's pocket without him noticing, with him being an experienced con man, like, that's I'll admit, honestly, it's a little unbelievable.
Yeah,
She's sitting in her
it's
car with a bag full of money, so she's pawned the hand already, and then here we are
mhm,
back in Vancouver Harbor.
and
She
you
spots the
see,
ship.
yeah, and it's, "Oh, fuck." Like,
It
it's
Yep,
written all over her face.
it is. It is, absolutely. Um, okay, you know what? Let's pause it on this black screen here because we are
Mm.
looking for Dean Eats and a lockpick. I have pick a
I
lock,
have pick a lock.
and I didn't. I
Now
think that
I
is it.
have okay, now I've got one to throw your way.
Okay, hit me with it.
When he when Bella mentions the the angry sex and he
Mhm.
kind of jumps at it.
Does he jump at it?
I don't know. I'm looking at his. I was looking at the look on his face, and he was not complaining.
I agree he wasn't complaining. I don't know. I don't know if he, like, she hits on him clearly. Is it enough for us to say he hits on her or checks her out? 'Cause it's not Dean considers.
I mean, I yes, I see where you are coming from, but I was just going. I was purely going by the. Yeah, I could see that,
I
and
it's
it's not traditional,
it's well,
Dean.
it's not it would be a departure from the way we've typically interpreted the square, because the square is Dean checks out or hits on a woman. Um, I agree with you, he's not necessarily mm, I I don't
You're
think that he's uncomfortable with the attention. Um, I don't know that it's enough for me to say that he checks her out.
okay. That's fair. That's I
So,
just wanted to throw it out there, be
okay.
clear, but it's very clear you're not on board. So
It's
not
a
a
if it's something that's extremely important to you, I could be convinced, but given the
it,
way the square is written, I'm not it's not obvious to me.
okay, not a problem.
Okay.
All right.
But we do have others,
So all
right?
right. Yes.
Because
So
we got I have pick a lock. Did you have any?
yes, I had
Okay.
pick lock.
Okay, I do as well. So cheers.
Cheers.
Mm, that cocktail is growing on me.
Mm,
Okay.
I l-
Last thing I'm going to mention before we hit play is when Gert is telling Sam, um actually no, hold that thought. We haven't gotten there yet.
okay.
Put a pin in that. I'll say it just a minute. Okay. Hitting play. The boys are back at the house. They're squatting in and they are pissed that Bella has gotten another one over on Dean, and Dean says, "Us," and Sam's like, "Us?" or you? So, Sam's kind of turning the knife here.
Oh, and look at that look on
And
on Dean's face.
yeah, like knock at the door. Bella identifies herself. So, and they let her in. They let her in, surprisingly enough. And she's all, I sold it. I had a buyer lined up. I admit I used you. I cheated. And Dean just kind of walks by like, "Arr." So,
I love like the little gun, the hand thing.
yep, yep. She's like, I had a buyer and it is halfway across the ocean. We can't get it. We can't get it back. And she finally admits, I saw the ship. So now that her life is on the line, now suddenly she's very interested in working with the boys for real this time, not just to use them. Um, and by this point, the boys have figured out, because again, Gert told them, people who see the ship are people who murdered someone in their family. And so Dean is like, oh, just when my opinion of you couldn't get any lower. And so and here's where Sam says, very Cain and Abel, that one brother killed the other. So the spirit that they have is the dead brother, who's the brother was captain of the ship, had him hanged. Um, and Cain and Abel is a theme that's going to come up quite a lot in Supernatural. So it's kind of fun that they mention it here. And Dean just gets right in her space and says, "Who'd you kill? Was it Daddy?" And Dean is sort of prepared to walk away and let her face her fate. And Sam only looks the slightest bit uncomfortable. Um, um, so I think it says it says a lot about their character, meaning Sam and Dean, that they're not the character Sam and Dean,
Yeah,
but like the nature
of who they
um,
are.
of who they are, that after everything she's done to them, after they know she murdered a member of her own family, and she does say, "You wouldn't understand. No one did." So again, we're getting a little more backstory for her, but after everything they know about her, they are still willing to help her. And because that's who Sam and Dean are.
Mhm.
Um, so Sam's got a plan. Cut to the cemetery. There is a ritual happening here.
Yeah.
And Bella says, uh, do you do you think this is gonna work? And Dean's like, yeah, probably not. So, um, we don't know
Oh.
exactly what kind of ritual Sam is performing. But Dean's sitting there with his shotgun, so we know he's ready with the salt round. Bit of trivia: this area here, this is not a real cemetery. This is a
Ah.
constructed cemetery, and it's the same location they used for the old lady's cottage in the woods in bedtime stories.
Ah.
Um, we uh, we're gonna have a Sammy in a minute.
We
I'll point it out
we
when we
we
get
we we
there.
just had one.
Okay, so there was the Sammy, and uh starts to just pour down rain. And there you are, Lynn. They are soaking wet.
Yeah,
Finally, you should be happy. It's raining and
I
they're wet.
am.
Bella says, "Behind you." Dean gets thrown against a gravestone. He drops his weapon, so we'll check the card for those. Here comes a dead one-handed brother. He touches Bella, and she starts to, again, just spew water everywhere. Uh, Sam is trying to read faster. There's kind of fuck all that Dean can do at this point, so he just kind of puts his arm around Bella and says, "Sammy, read faster." So if we hadn't had one before,
Yeah.
there we would have gotten it now. Um, Sam finishes his incantation, the clouds part, the rain stops, and our ghost turns and looks behind him, and it's his brother who had
Brother.
him killed. So what Sam was performing was a summoning. So we will check
Yeah.
our cards for those. Um, and here is what I consider to be the highlight of this episode. The the ghost brother charges at his other brother, and it's just this
Oh,
beautiful
I love that.
just explosion of water in slow motion. It's absolutely gorgeous as sort of the ghost dives through his brother and they both just disintegrate. Um, so this was the plan where, the sort of like with bedtime stories, the way we dispatch this ghost is by because we can't burn the hand,
Yeah.
it's gone.
No.
All right, I'm
Nope.
gonna pause on this black screen here.
Mm,
The way that we dispatch this ghost is by giving him what he wants, and what he
yeah.
wants is revenge against his brother. So we summon the brother. He gets
Yeah.
to and he destroys himself in the process of getting revenge
Yeah.
on his brother. So, okay, we have summoning.
Yeah.
Last thing I'm gonna say about that summoning ritual, one of the very first words that Sam says in the ritual is the name Castiel. So, file that away.
Yes.
This is the first time in Supernatural we hear the name Castiel. Okay, so we have a Sammy, a summoning, someone gets thrown against a wall, and one of the boys drops his weapon. So we have 4 to look for.
And did we ever
Um,
look for Dean eats or drinks?
we should have. I didn't have it,
I didn't
so,
have it either. I just can't remember whether we actually looked. I didn't know whether you looked for it or not. I do not
yeah,
have
we
it.
should have looked for it, but, yeah, as you said, neither of us had it, so if we forgot to look, it's because there was no point in us looking, but hopefully you have one.
Yes.
Okay, let me see what else I've got here. I do have a summoning.
I don't think I have any.
Uh, Angel summoning is someone gets choked. No, one of the boys gets choked. No, those are the 2 I have. And I will admit, I'm a little miffed that, we've got all this ghost activity and not a single unexplained cold spot. Like, so I'm a little annoyed about that. Okay, so those are the 2 I have. One of the boys drops his weapon and a summoning.
Yep. And yep, I have none of those.
All right, well, don't let me drink alone.
No, no, I won't. In fact, I'm even gonna top this off ever so slightly so I can do this without dumping it. Alrighty, cheers.
Beers. Okay.
Ah,
We've just got a little bit left here. So we're gonna hit
mhm.
play. Boys are packing up now, and Bella just walks into this house they're squatting in, like, come on in, why not?
Yeah.
No more security. They're packing up to leave. And as a goodbye present, she gives them each $5,000. So she gives them $10,000 in total. And as far as she's concerned, they're square. She doesn't like being in anyone's debt. Um, so, uh, and again, Dean is like a simple thank you. Like $10,000 is easier than just saying thank you. He accuses her of being damaged. She's like, yeah, yeah, you know what that's like. So, again, we're starting to get this sense that like the 2 of them are opposite sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Um, Sam's like, "You don't know where this money's been," and Dean says, "No, but I know where it's going." And we do have they're on their way to Atlantic City, where
Yeah.
Dean intends to play some roulette always bet on black.
Black.
Um, alright, we did have a seriously there, which
Yeah.
we will look for in just a moment. Um, would you consider what we're seeing a heartfelt moment?
Yes.
Okay, because I know there have been occasions where you and I have disagreed if one of the brothers is angry and so they're not kind of both on the same wavelength. So I wanted to
And
get your
I
opinion on this
thought
one.
about this,
Yeah.
because I realized that I've wavered on this one, and I realized the difference for me on this one, because for
Okay.
me, this one was very clear cut.
All right.
And for me, the difference is the reason that Sam is angry with him is, as much as this one does kind of turn a little bit, it's because of his deep love for his brother and why
Hmm.
he's angry. It's not
Hmm.
because of the disagreement that they're having, it's because of the passion that he feels for his brother and the
Yeah.
fact that he's trying to save him. And that's why
Yeah.
I am so okay with this
Okay.
moment. Does that
All
make
right.
sense?
We will call this a heartfelt bromance. And we do have this beautiful line here. I don't want you to worry about me, Dean. I want you to worry about you.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so that is our episode. So we do have a seriously and a heartfelt bromance to look for on our Stupornatural game cards. I do have a seriously.
I have a
If mem
seriously,
Okay, excellent. If memory serves, I do not have a heartfelt bromance, and I do
I
not.
don't, I do not
All right.
either.
So we have one each. We both have a seriously.
Yay!
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
So I
So,
have three in a row, three times.
okay. Let's
I
see.
almost had four in a row, but
3, 6,
I
and it
would
looks like
have,
you have 6 total? Huh.
yeah,
Alright, and I also have 3 in a row. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7.
so you have lost by the
Lost
least,
by the least.
or what? I choose to say you won because the other way takes two. I did not get much sleep last night, so when we were doing that, I almost said hooked on phonics works for me, which
Oh my
shows
goodness.
how tired I am.
I was so close to saying hooked on phonics worked for me, and then I was like, "Wait, that's words, not math."
Exactly. That's why I was like, wait a minute, this we're talking numbers, not words
I
here.
heard you, and I almost said the same thing. So you said you almost had 4 in a row. What was
Yes.
the 4th
The
one?
dean checks out or hits on a woman, and
Ah,
we decided to do that one. But I understood where you were coming from. It was his facial expression and how he reacted
I
was
get it.
what made me second guess it.
Yeah, yeah, no, you weren't making it up. Like, you didn't make it up out of nowhere. Okay, so one thing you loved and one thing you hated about this
So
episode.
now, unlike you, I genuinely like this episode.
Okay,
Um, so as far as there's a couple of things there's a couple of things I love, but I'm gonna pick one.
okay.
And the one is
The winner is
I love that special effect in the
yes,
grave site with the
agreed.
two brothers and the water,
Yep,
and oh, I
highlight of the episode,
that is the
absolutely.
highlight of the episode. I think that special
Can't pick
effect,
anything else, right? It's
no,
gotta be.
it has to be that. Love that. Love, love, love that moment.
Yeah,
Absolutely love
agreed.
it. the thing that annoyed me, and it's because I picked up on another little detail that Dean said that made the other moment piss me off,
What's
is
that?
when they were looking at they were trying when they were analyzing the security cards, they're like
Mhm.
when the way they were standing, they looked like off-duty sheriffs. If they were truly like not mall security guards, which no offense to mall security guards, but I've seen some not so effective ones in all of my days of retail. Any security guard would have realized that something fishy was going on between Dean and Bella. Anyone would have figured that out. Like the fact
Yeah,
that it was just, oh yeah, like, oh, your girl's cheating on you.
sure. Bang
Sure.
away.
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
like,
hired to protect this gala and all of the artifacts in this museum, and I'm just gonna let a couple shtup upstairs.
yeah, and then the fact that the husband
Husband.
comes, and it's not like she says
Well, the
whoops
husband
and
wasn't the one who came, apparently.
but like she even says like, oh my husband, I believe she even said like, oh my husband and I, and then
Yeah,
Dean comes around the corner, like,
right,
and he thinks, and the security guard thinks nothing of it.
right.
It's like, oh, you're the shittiest security guard I'm playing. So that's the
Yeah,
only moment where I was like, really?
yeah.
Come on.
No, I get it. So for me, I had a hard time picking out like one moment that I really didn't love because for me the whole episode is sort of weak tea. That it's written by Lawrence Andrews and it's directed by Cliff Bowl and neither one of them come back. So, I don't think that that's a coincidence that neither of them were invited back. So I do think interestingly enough, they had initially envisioned something a little grander for this episode where, like, as an example, the woman in the shower, that it would have filled up with water and you would have watched her drown in the shower, stall. And then, when the one of the brothers excuse me, drowns in his car, that the car was supposed to, like, fill up with water, and you watch him drown in the car.
Yeah.
And they just realized that the budget to do
Yeah.
those things would be prohibitive.
Yeah.
So I think, I think this episode just got away from them. That they started with an idea that would have been just absolutely terrifying. I mean, if you think about, like, what that scene if you imagine what that scene could have looked like with a person, like, trapped in a car filled with water, like, desperately trying to get the door open and can't, like, that's some, like, decent terror there. That in the hands of a more skilled director, and with a larger budget to pull off some of the effects that they'd initially planned on, I think that this could have been, a decently scary episode of Supernatural. And I think also for me, what I really struggle with is just how poorly I think Bella's character is written. And I know I've whined about this before, and I'm not going to do it again here. But it just sort of, uh, I would like to see some kind of depth to her character that she's this very sort of two-dimensional out for myself don't care about anybody else. I will screw over the Winchesters at multiple times, and they still help me because they're nice guys. It's just kind of weak tea to me, and I really feel like they could have done so much more. Um, so I in all honesty couldn't point to like one thing that I really hated because like the whole episode just really felt very mediocre to me. And were it not for the special effects, there would have been sort of nothing to recommend this episode to me. So the one thing that I hated was all of it. So
See, and for me, I think Bella is I love the chemistry between her and Dean.
yeah, I don't
I do.
more for you,
I
and that's okay. That's okay. You're carry
trust me, I'm
on with
not
your
gonna
bad self.
apologize for it.
No, you
Believe
shouldn't.
me, I'm not going
You
to.
absolutely shouldn't.
Um,
You and you, anybody watching this video, you like what you like, and if somebody else doesn't agree with you, fuck them. You know, like
yeah.
you're nothing wrong with that at all. Um,
No,
I don't see chemistry. I see loathing.
to me,
Um,
it's kind of it's now keep in mind, I have spent and this is not a downplay on it by any stretch. Clearly, I like the genre because I have watched
right,
it in many different
right.
formats. Um, of that kind of and I am and I'm not comparing Supernatural to sort of that soap opera
Yeah,
genre.
no. They hate each other so much because they're really in love.
Yeah, like,
Mm.
but
Which is what I
I
complained about in Route 666, that it was so cliché that they fight, they fight, they fight, they kiss.
yeah, and see, and Route 666 is another one that I really like.
No. And like I
It's
said, you are absolutely entitled to feel about this episode the way that you do.
yeah.
And just I think for me, what you're describing I perceive as being the extraordinary talent of Jensen Ackles and Lauren Cohan more than it is any type of real chemistry between those 2 characters.
Oh, it's no doubt. I mean, like, the the actress I
Oh, Lauren
does
Cohan's amazing.
oh, yeah, she's amazing. I think she makes an amazing villain in
She
this.
could. She is talented enough, she could make an amazing villain if they had given her a script that she could have really gotten her teeth into. I think
And
they're both doing the best that they can with weak writing.
yeah, and see, and to me, I see it as, and I know you and I have talked about this in the past, they've only got so much time.
They do,
So,
and yet we've seen them do miraculous things in
yes.
42 minutes. And
So,
that's
yeah.
what I wanted to see in this episode and didn't.
Well, as we have always said in the past, the fact that we don't always agree, it'd be boring as hell if we did always agree.
Indeed, indeed. I am happy for you that you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
And please, if you're watching this, let us know what you think in the comments.
Yes.
But for now, that is the last
Last
call.
call.
I'll admit I refilled a skosh.
Uh, I'll admit if I had to refill, I'd be on the floor because so yeah, I have like that much left and it's a
Oh,
darn good thing because yeah.
No, my standard practice is I make myself 2. Like, whatever the cocktail is, I make 2, and when it's gone because I can't have more than 2 or I will crack my skull open on the stairs.
Yeah,
This is
well,
how much I have left of cocktail number 2.
yeah, well, when you're drinking, cranberry vodka, I'll be honest, I just kinda dump a bunch in and go, "Okay, this is how much per shot I'm willing to drink each one, and we'll
Yeah,
see how much is left and hope that there's some left at the end," because yeah, because to me, it's like
otherwise
basically 2 shots, and I'm like,
yes,
"Yeah, that
I
yeah,
agree, that because that's 2 drinks, right?
yeah."
So, our theory's the same. So, that and you know what? I know I said last call already, but I lied, I'm gonna have a little more. So, now this is last call. We're so happy that you came along with us for the ride. If you like what we're doing here, please be sure to tell your friends. Please also like our videos and subscribe so it's easier for other people to find us too.
And if you wanna watch us make more bonus episodes, which God knows we love to do, please give us some topics for Ask Jared so that that way you can see us just completely random, off topic, and just
Whatever
anything.
comes
And
out of the jar, we talk about.
yep, and God knows what's gonna come out of our mouth
You know,
in the process, because Lord
indeed.
knows.
So if you want to watch us fist jar it, make sure to send those topics in. We love hearing from our SPN family. Please comment, send us an email at hunterfuelpodcast@gmail.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Hunter Fuel Podcast. In our next episode, we'll be watching season 3, episode 7, Fresh Blood. Until then, be safe, everybody.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Yep. One, two, three. Yeah, literally. Well, actually, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yes, I can count. I
Six.
swear.
I ran out of fingers.
Fingers. Yeah.